words of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say, it's Stampin' Up and it's our way.
Alright, so let's get started on this kit. This is the Paper Bouquet kit. I have watched a previous demonstrator do this, and I'm going to do some of the tips that she has also mentioned. I did find that a little easier to do. When you get this kit, it tells you that you need 3 of these type of petals, 1 of each of the green, so 3 green and 3 blue beads, and 3 of the short strips of the black. For this flower, you need 1 large, 2 small pink, the yellow bead, a short yellow strip, and a green. So you're going to make 3 of each of these flowers. Okay, so where it says times by 3, 3 flowers, times by 3, and you need 3 sticks. Okay, so you need 3 of the florist wires as well. So there is the instructions. I'm just going to put those to the side. I've sorted everything out. These bits just go separately onto onto stems themselves later, and you'll need 9 of the florist wires for just the leaves and the greenery. So let's start off with, first you get the beads and you get the florist wire. And so start off by heating up your hot glue gun, and just about about that much. It's not really, there's no real rhyme or reason. It just says fold that over. What you're going to do is put a bead on. Now, what I found just with jewelry making as such, what I did was actually crossed over the bead to secure that, so as close as I could get to that bead before wrapping it down, just to make sure that it was actually secure. So then twist that down the wire. If you have wire trimmers, you can trim off the end. When it pokes out a little bit at the end here, it can get a little tricky with the paper flowers to get on there. One of the tips the other demonstrator had shown, and I'm really sorry, I just cannot remember her name. She got some of the hot glue, and I'm just in the middle of transferring to a new stick, so sometimes he needs a little bit of a push, and she's just positioned some of the glue into the bead just to secure that, just so it doesn't actually keep moving around too much. The next thing she also recommended with this one, so I'll show you how to do. So what she recommended first of all is using 2 of the strips. So it bulked out the center stamen part of the petal and the leaves itself. So I'm going to show you 2 different ones right now. This is just using 1 of the yellow pieces. That's a short white piece, and the white flowers with the short yellow piece. And this is actually using 2 of the yellow. So see how it's actually got a little bit puffier. So it's up to you which way you want to do it. And what you do for that is cut off all this excess. So when you get this kit, you have all of these with all of the bits in here ready to go. Just get your snips and chop them out, and it gives you extra, so you can add more stameny puffy bits to the center to fill them out. Okay, so that's what it is. This is the one that's got the pink flower. This is this one here with the yellow and the yellow beads, and just 1 green at the bottom. Okay, and then we've got, that is the white one. So that's you're going to make 8 of these. So if you choose to have more yellow, you could, and fill that out. And then you can also change the beads. So if you didn't want to do yellow beads, I've actually gone ahead and stuck a blue bead in this one here. So lots of variations that you could still actually do with this kit, and at the end I'll show you what it looks like, the whole bunch. I've done a few of them, and going to do the same concept with all of them. The other demonstrator also recommended, when you put these together, don't don't start curling your leaves, like the petals, until they're actually on. And I did find that it was a lot easier. It was less likely to tear them or to rip them, if that was the case. So I found that easier from her as well. All right, so what we're going to do is just grab the bead, and we're going to actually start getting some glue. Sorry, like I said, it's just in the middle of a transitioning to a new glue stick, so it's a little tricky to get some glue on there. So I'm going to secure that, and then I'm going to grab hold of the yellow crate paper type thing it is, and then we're going to just continue and wrap around the inside. Sorry, get going down there. There we go. Okay, wrap that around, then secure. If it comes out a little fast, I just sort of spread that out a little bit around there. It will actually secure all of it, like so. Okay, and then if you do want to make it a bit puffy, grab hold of the next one, and then just secure that. All right, and then just finish off the last bit. All right, so that is the yellow part done. Now what we do is we start threading through the flowers. Just got to be a little bit careful. Like I said, the main thing to worry about here is just getting that flower in that hole. If you do have some wire cutters, just give that a cut. What I also did was, when I'm coming in with this, just gluing half of the petal first. So I'm just going to spread the glue around the outer part and then press that down. Then rotate that, and then on the other side of the flower, it probably doesn't need it on that one, but I'll just give him a little bit extra security just there, because the other petal is going to go down in there anyway. All right, so pop that there, and then that secures that one. Then we grab the next flower, and off it threads, down it goes. Just pull it back a little bit just to get your adhesive. Yep, pop that onto there, and then off center it so that the petal goes through the other petal. Rotate that around. And then just grab some more adhesive and glue that. And then we do one more, and okay. Bugger, don't do that. All right, and then we glue that, and then just go and secure the other side. All right. And then we need a green. So just get rid of any of the strings that come off the hot glue. All right. Sticking to myself now. And thread that down. And grab the glue. Pop a little bit of glue just there. If you can, smear it around. Do that. And then secure the greenery. Just rotate. And I'm just going to pop a little bit more at the back there. There we go. And then secure that up. All right, grab the bone folder. Now what you can do first of all is start off with the inside. So you can actually just start smushing out all of those. Use your fingers, squash all those out. They don't need to be absolutely perfect. Then what you do is start curling in the petals. Now I did find you can, it does look very pretty, curling in a bunch of them at the same time. So if you wanted to, that's always an option to make it a little quicker, is curl a few all at the same time. Other thing you can do is curl them the other direction. So, you know, you can make them look a little realistic. Okay. Just be a little careful because they are paper. And there we go. And then, like I said, you can tuck that in and go the other direction with the other petals, and any of those hot glue dags that you get hanging around, just give those a hook out of there, and there you go. That is one of the flowers. Now I'm not going to sit here and do all of them. They will take a while to get all of them done, but that is so you're going to make 8 of the white. You're going to make 3 of these blue, and what I have done with the dark blue crepe paper is that is 2 long ones in there to make them a bit puffier. You're going to make 3 of these ones, which is the light pink. Then we have the yellow, so that is the yellow one with the blue bead in it. And then we have the orange. And then we have another pink variation as well. So that's another pink. So once you've done all of those, then what happens is you hot glue gun the leaves. So you're going to have 9 of these. And what you're going to do is basically hot glue these petals, leaves, to the forest wire. I would probably just do a couple of points just to give it that flexibility. And then there is also some harder leaves as well. And for these harder leaves, so you've got the forest wire attached to that one, and then you're going to grab another stick, and that gets put on to here. And you could even shape these out using the bone folder, so give them a little bit of a definition. And then you could even curl out the sides, and again the forest wire is going to go up on the inside there. So if you carefully crease the inside leaves as well, that just gives them a little bit more depth and design. So just follow along those crease lines there, and like that, and then that one like that, and then hot glue these onto here so they sit like that. And then that means you can then manipulate them around. And then with the third leaf, you do the same thing. Again, just creasing on the crease line here. You could just fold those over, and then you could get the bone folder and just be a little bit flexible with those leaves. Same with this one. It's probably a little easier to stick it on the crease line and follow, get the bone folder and score those out. That's a little easier for me, I find. So I'm going to go in like that, curl out those leaves. Squish that down, wrap that around so that it's going to go over the top of the wire, and then that goes onto there. Don't have any wire sticking out the top part, you've just got it sticking in there, and then that adds more foliage to our bouquet. All right, I'll get everything cleared off and then I'll show you the real bunch.
What we love, what we do, makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration and love.